Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing great. In today's video, we'll be talking about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos and their latest updates. Stay tuned till the end and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. The late autumn sun dipped low behind the Manhattan skyline, casting golden streaks across the windows of the apartment Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos had called home for decades. Inside, everything looked the same, photos scattered across shelves, framed memories from vacations, milestones, messy holidays, but the air felt different, heavier, as if the walls themselves sensed something was changing. Kelly stood quietly in the living room, her fingertips brushing over a picture from their early days on All My Children. She smiled faintly at their impossibly young faces. "We had no idea," she whispered to the empty room. "No idea what life would bring." Behind her, she felt Mark's footsteps long before she heard them. Even after 30 years of marriage, she still recognized the rhythm of his walk instantly, steady, strong, grounding. But today, it moved slower, more measured. "You're looking at the old days again," Mark said gently, his voice warm but tinged with something she couldn't place. She turned and laughed softly. "They're good memories." "They are," he agreed. But the smile he tried to hold didn't quite reach his eyes. Kelly's heart tightened. Over the last few weeks, she'd sensed something weighing on him. He kept drifting into long silences, staring out windows as if searching for something just out of reach. She'd asked, of course she'd asked, but he always brushed it off with a soft, "I'm fine, Kel." Yet she knew he wasn't. And tonight, his face told her he was finally ready to share whatever truth he'd been holding back. "Come sit," he said suddenly, guiding her toward the couch. Kelly sat, dread prickling beneath her ribs. "Mark, what's going on?" He didn't speak right away. Instead, he held her hands, really held them, as if anchoring himself. His thumbs traced gentle circles over her skin, the way he always did when words were hard. "Kelly," his voice dropped to a fragile whisper, "there's something I need to tell you, something important." Her breath caught. "You're scaring me." "I don't want to," he murmured, "but I need to share this, and I need you to hear all of it." Kelly nodded, though her stomach twisted. Mark drew in a long breath. "I've been thinking a lot about life, about us, about the years we've had, the good ones, the hard ones, everything in between." He swallowed. "I want you to know that meeting you changed everything for me. Loving you, it's been the greatest privilege of my life." Tears rushed to Kelly's eyes instantly. "Mark, what are you talking about?" He squeezed her hands. "I'm not dying," he said quickly. "Nothing like that, I promise." A bittersweet smile formed. "But I do have a wish, a final heartfelt wish I need you to understand." Kelly's body sagged in relief, but confusion quickly followed. "Okay, what wish?" He looked at her with a depth that made the room feel suddenly too small. "My wish," he said softly, "is that when my time eventually comes, I want you to keep living. Not just existing, not just working, but living." Kelly froze. Mark continued, voice steady but tender. "You give so much of yourself, to the show, to the kids, to everyone around you. You carry the world on your shoulders, even when no one sees it. And someday, long from now, if life ever forces you to face this world without me," his voice cracked, "I don't want you to be alone." Kelly's tears spilled freely now. "Mark, don't talk like that." He gave a soft, heartbreaking smile. "We're not immortal, Kel, none of us. And I don't want fear to stop us from having conversations that matter." He brushed a tear from her cheek. "My wish is simple. I want you to find joy, no matter what. To laugh loudly, love boldly, and build something new if you need to. I don't ever want you to feel chained to the memory of us, even though I know our love is forever." Kelly shook her head, struggling to find breath. "How can you say that? You're my life, Mark." "And you're mine," he whispered. "But love isn't a cage. It's a gift. And the last gift I want to give you is freedom. Freedom to keep going, even when it hurts." She clung to him, burying her face against his chest. "I can't imagine a world without you." He wrapped his arms around her, holding her as if protecting her from a storm only he could see. "You don't have to. We're here now. We're together. And we have years, decades, I hope, ahead of us. But someday, life will write the final chapters. And I just want you to know, I want your story to continue beautifully, even if mine ends." Kelly's sobs came harder now, every word cutting through her heart with both pain and fierce love. "You're everything to me," she managed. "Everything." "And you're everything to me," he echoed. "That's why I can say this, because I love you enough to want your happiness, even if I'm not part of it someday." They stayed like that for a long time, holding each other, breathing together, letting the weight of the moment settle. Finally, Kelly lifted her head, eyes red but shining with determination. "Then here's my wish," she said, voice trembling. "We live every single day like it matters. No more hesitating. No more waiting for the right time. We make memories, not for fear of the future, but because we're lucky enough to have the present." Mark cupped her face, pride and emotion swirling in his eyes. "That's exactly what I hoped you'd say." She took his hand, lacing their fingers. "You and I, we're not done yet, not even close." He smiled, truly smiled this time, bright and full and undeniably his. "No, we're not." Outside, the last sliver of sunlight slipped beneath the horizon, but inside their home, a quiet warmth filled the room. They weren't just confronting fears, they were choosing hope, choosing each other, choosing life. Together, they leaned into the moment, grateful for the love that had carried them this far and the future still waiting to be written, hand in hand, heart to heart. Kelly rested her head on Mark's shoulder, letting the soft hum of the city fill the silence between them. Cars whispered across the streets below, sirens echoed faintly in the distance, and somewhere above, a helicopter cut through the night sky. But in their living room, time felt suspended, gentle, quiet, sacred. Mark stroked her hair slowly, thoughtfully. "You know," he whispered, "I spent so much time trying to find the right way to bring this up. I didn't want you to think I was being morbid or dramatic." Kelly laughed softly. The sound was shaky, edged with lingering tears. "You? Dramatic? Never." Mark grinned, nudging her gently. "Okay, maybe a little, but only when it counts." Kelly shifted to face him fully, her legs tucked under her. "It counts because it's you, and because you're talking about the future. A part of the future I don't even want to imagine." "I know," he said, "but I want us to talk about real things. Not because something is wrong, but because love grows when you trust someone enough to share your deepest fears and your deepest hopes." His words settled into her chest like soft, glowing embers, warm, comforting, but undeniably powerful. He wasn't talking about endings. He was talking about meaning, about presence, about giving each other permission to be human. "Mark," Kelly said gently, "you always think about everyone else first. Even now, even in something this big, you're thinking about me before yourself." "That's what love does," he said simply. Kelly kissed his hand. "Then hear me clearly. When you talk about your final wish, it hurts. But it also reminds me of why I fell in love with you in the first place. You're selfless. You're brave. You're always trying to protect the people you love." He lowered his gaze, emotion flickering through his dark eyes. "I just want to know you'll be okay. That's all I've ever wanted. And I will be," she promised. "But not because I move on someday. I'll be okay because we lived a life worth remembering. One filled with moments just like this, honest, messy, and full of love." Mark leaned forward, resting his forehead against hers. "Then let's make a deal." "A deal?" she asked faintly. "Yeah." His voice was soft. "Our lives aren't defined by how they end. They're defined by how we live them. So from now on, we live boldly. We don't hold back. We don't wait for the perfect moment. We make it." Kelly smiled through tears. "Deal." He pulled her into his arms again, and the world outside kept spinning, unaware of the silent promise being made inside that room, a promise born of vulnerability, courage, and a love strong enough to face even the deepest of truths. Together, they held each other as night settled over Manhattan, choosing, once again, to walk forward hand in hand into the beautiful, unpredictable story still unfolding before them.